Rise of the legend begins in a Huangpu harbor in Guangzhou in 1868, one of the darkest times for the Chinese people. At that time, the Qing Dynasty deflated, causing human trafficking, prostitution, and opium to run unchecked as if the law didn't exist. Things also happened in Huangpu Harbor, which was controlled by two big gangs, the Black Tiger and the North Sea. The Black Tiger gang doesn't just control the harbor. They also own large businesses, such as brothels, gambling establishments, and opium stalls, each owned by the gang leader's three adopted sons. At this time, the leader of the Black Tiger gang, Master Lei, wants to recruit a soldier who will also become his fourth adopted son. He called several brave Black Tiger Junior members who had been with the gang for more than 5 years, one of whom was Wong Fei-Hung, or Little Fei. And so, Fei-Hung and the other soldiers met Master Lei while he was interrogating a traitor, who was eventually killed for refusing to confess. However, even if he saw someone being killed right in front of his eyes, Fei-Hung didn't show any fear at all, impressing Master Lei. Master Lei's interest in him grew stronger after the appointment ceremony to become a senior gang member began. During the ceremony, he asked the 8 warriors to hold a cup while pouring boiling water into it. And he kept pouring the hot water even though the cup was full, causing the soldiers to drop the cup because of the heat. Well, except Fei-Hung. He even kept a straight face as his fingers turned red. After the ceremony, Master Lei then announced the purpose of calling them. He wanted them to kill the North Sea gang leader. For anyone who manages to bring the head of the gang leader in front of him, he promises them he will choose him as his fourth adopted son. Master Lei was well aware of the consequences of that action. His gang will go to war with the North Sea gang, and the peace treaty between them will be broken. But he was prepared for the possibility. So, the next day Fei-Hung came to the North Sea headquarters and made a riot. Alone, of course, and it didn't take long for him to come face to face with the gang leader. Their battle was fierce and intense, and Fei-Hung came out victorious. And according to the conditions given by Master Lei, he must behead the gang leader. But moments later, screams began to erupt as members of the North Sea gang came to surround him. However, Fei-Hung didn't flinch in the slightest and bravely charged at his countless enemies, even though his chances of winning were almost nil. Fei-Hung could subdue many of his opponents, but in the end, he lost due to being outnumbered. Fortunately, when his life was on the line, one of his friends came to his rescue by setting off fireworks to distract the enemies. Later that night, Fei-Hung was brought back to Black Tiger territory in an unconscious state. Seeing him embracing the pack containing the heads of the enemy gangs, Master Lei was delighted, and so he unhesitatingly adopted him as the fourth adopted son. But more importantly, he wanted him to be healed immediately. And the person who volunteered to treat him was one of his friends, Big Tooth. He was willing to go to the trouble of doing that because Fei-Hung had saved him in the past, even though Fei-Hung claimed he didn't remember doing it. The following day, the son of the leader of the North Sea, Wulong, was furious after seeing his father's head hanged and exposed in the harbor. He vowed to destroy the Black Tiger gang to avenge his beloved father. A few days later, with Fei-Hung being chosen as the fourth adopted son, he had to perform a final ceremony by tattooing his back with a black tiger image. Luckily, the tattooist was an old man who talked a lot, so maybe Fei-Hung wouldn't get bored during the tattoo process. He kept talking and talking, giving him a lot of information about the Black Tiger. One of them was about the gang's money vault that could only be opened with 2 different keys. And the 2 keys are each held by 2 foremen, or in other words, Master Lei's adopted son, with the most profitable business. Currently, the adopted children who have the keys are the Black Crow, who controls the gambling business, and Old Snake, who oversees the prostitution business. After Fei-Hung finished his tattoo, Master Lei officially adopted him as the fourth son. His first task was to lead his men to attack the North Sea territory and eliminate all enemies without a single one remaining. The raid was a resounding success, bringing the port under the Black Tiger's control. Nevertheless, Wulong managed to escape amidst the chaos. The North Sea victory made everyone respect and fear Fei-Hung. But the Black Tiger wasn't aware of a new danger lurking around the corner. A group of orphans whose parents were victims of the Black Tiger's slavery has now gathered and taken an oath to avenge their parents, and many people died because of the Black Tiger's cruelty. But right now, the Black Tigers were too complacent about their success and even held a party to celebrate. However, the party ended badly because Fei-Hung got into an argument with the first adopted son in charge of managing the port, North Evil. The argument started as a silly joke, but soon it heated up so fast that North Evil hit Fei-Hung with his stick. It was only because of Master Lei's appearance that the bickering did not develop into a fistfight. He was able to calm them down with just a few words. The next day, Master Lei met his business partners, who supplied him with drugs. But this time, they asked him to prepare 300 laborers for them to send overseas for their drug experiments. Even though it took time to prepare hundreds of people, Master Lei complied with the request, regardless if he had to justify any means. And so, a few days later, he ordered his men to lure the workers at the port for a hefty fee if they wanted to work abroad. The poor workers did not know that they would be captured for experimentation. As the days pass, Fei-Hung spends more of his time fishing and playing with a prostitute, who is also his childhood friend, Xiao Hua. But during their game, oddly enough, he tells her all the secrets about the Black Tiger, including where the gang's money is stored, and he needs the keys to open it. The next day, Xiao Hua gave a dress to a tailor and told her to fix it, but she was actually just pretending to be a tailor. In fact, she was also Fei-Hung's childhood friend. Her name is Chun. As for the clothes that Xiao Hua gave to her, it turns out that inside the clothes, there is a piece of paper that contains information about the keys to open the money box belonging to the Black Tiger gang. So, why did Fei-Hung reveal the secret of the Black Tiger gang? Did he betray them? We need to look into Wong Fei-Hung's past to get the answer. Through flashback, we can see that Wong Fei-Hung is the son of an acupuncturist with excellent kung fu skills. But not only that, but his father also took care of orphan children whose parents died due to slavery and the cruelty of the Black Tiger and the North Sea gangs. In the past, Fei-Hung had 3 best friends named Chun, Huo, and Xiao Hua, the girl he had loved since childhood. But one day, she is forcibly kidnapped by a member of the Black Tiger gang to be sold into a brothel. In a hurry, Fei-Hung asks his father to save Xiao Hua. But unfortunately, even though they finally managed to find the Black Tiger member, she had already been sold into a prostitution area, so there was nothing more they could do. But the Black Tiger certainly couldn't forget that Fei-Hung's father had injured one of its members. So, one night, they took revenge by setting fire to the house filled with orphans. Fei-Hung gets burns while trying to save the kids. As for his father, he died in a blazing fire. Furious, Fei-Hung and Huo went to the Black Tiger member's residence to seek revenge. But what can he do? The person he wants to kill has already been killed by someone. Suddenly, a monk appeared and then took them both to a cave. However, he was willing to let Fei-Hung and Huo go only if they could figure out what revenge meant. And before they could find the answer, the monk trained them very hard in kung fu. It was only when they grew up that they finally found the meaning of revenge. Revenge is to save the lives of others and those who were trapped in flames. The answer satisfied the monk, allowing them to leave the cave. But their current condition was different from when they first met the monk. They had grown into strong youths who mastered kung fu techniques. And as soon as they came out, they immediately decided to free the harbor dwellers from the Black Tiger's oppression. It took about 5 years of preparation before they were ready to implement their plans. The preparations include meeting their 2 childhood friends, Chun and Xiao Hua, and reuniting the orphaned children. Once they were ready, they divided the tasks. Fei-Hung infiltrated the Black Tiger gang. Xiao Hua pretended to be a prostitute, while Huo and Chun led the gang of orphans that was previously shown. So, Fei-Hung's goal in joining the Black Tigers was to destroy the gang from within. Back to the present time, after receiving information about the keys to the money vault, Huo, Chun, and the gang of orphans do their actions by luring Old Snake to a secluded place, where they torture and kill him. After that, Chun took the key that Old Snake was holding and made a duplicate of it. In the evening, they dumped Old Serpent's body into the Black Tiger's place, inscribing, "Evil will be punished." But Master Lei could still feel relief because whoever had killed Old Snake did not take the key. And so, he entrusted Old Serpent's keys to North Evil, the first adopted son, asking him to take good care of it. Meanwhile, Fei-Hung pretends to be engrossed in fishing near the brothel, when in reality, he meets with Huo to receive a duplicate key that they will use for their next plan. And so, Fei-Hung came to the gambling place that the Black Crow supervised, where he constantly gambled and deliberately lost. Since he didn't have any money, he went to the Black Crow and borrowed 3,000 taels of silver from him. In exchange for the money, Fei-Hung gave him a duplicate key. Black Crow naturally wondered why Fei-Hung could have the key to the money vault. But here, he admits that it's not the real key, it was just a duplicate key he had taken from North Evil. In other words, Fei-Hung slandered North Evil for trying to duplicate the key before he even got the real key from Master Lei. But still, Black Crow didn't necessarily believe what Fei-Hung said. So to check the truth, he and Fei-Hung went directly to the cash depository, which was far from the city and was heavily guarded. And voila, the duplicate key could open the treasure vault door. After returning from the money vault, Fei-Hung again pretended to be fishing so he could inform Huo about the location of the money vault and their next move, which was to kill the Black Crow. Then, the next day, Chun returned Xiao Hua's tailor-made shirt, which had a piece of paper inserted with information about when their plan would be executed. While at Fei-Hung's side, he and Master Lei went to browse through Lei's sword collection, and they purposely left without a single bodyguard because they wanted to lure Wu Long and the rest of the North Sea gang members out. Their tactics worked. It didn't take long for him and the rest of his gang to appear before them. As a result, the fight was unavoidable. Fei-Hung faced off against Wu Long, who seemed eager to kill him, while Master Lei fought against the minions. The Wu Long versus Fei-Hung battle was evenly matched, although Fei-Hung showed that he was superior as the battle progressed. The situation became more favorable to him after the reinforcements of the Black Tigers arrived. And finally, after a hard and exhausting battle, Wu Long died at the hands of Fei-Hung. With this, there is no longer any obstacle for the Black Tigers to dominate the harbor. But it was too soon for them to celebrate because almost at the same time as the fight against Wu Long, the orphan gang took action by setting fire to the opium shop and massacring the guards in the money vault. Then, their main target in this operation, the Black Crow, was lured by Chun to a secluded place. The fire that had engulfed the poppy shop was spotted by Master Lei, who immediately ordered Fei-Hung to investigate. But instead of heading for the fire site, he came to Chun, who had already managed to trap the Black Crow. Without further ado, they finished off the Black Crow, making it look like North Evil had killed it. Their mission ended perfectly if only Huo, who was in charge of burning the opium house, could escape. But unfortunately, he was trapped in an alley, where he was eventually caught by the members of the Black Tiger. Inevitably, when Fei-Hung returns to Master Lei's place, he is shocked to see Huo there tied up, being tortured so he can reveal where his gang is. But here, Huo sarcastically said that Master Lei shouldn't be meeting his comrades right now, as they were busy robbing his money vault. And it's true, at this moment, the orphan gang is breaking into the money vault and then distributing all its contents to the local residents. Of course, Master Lei was furious to hear the news. All this happened so fast that he thought there must be a traitor in the gang. After all, the money vault was in a very secret place. But before he had time to think about what he should do, he was shocked after his people brought the corpse of the Black Crow before him. And what surprised him even more on the Black Crow's body were the marks of a blow from North Evil's wand. So, when Fei-Hung messed with North Evil at the banquet, he did it on purpose to get North Evil to hit him with his stick. He could duplicate North Evil's wand with the hit marks he got. The pain finally paid off. Now everyone's eyes were on North Evil, suspecting him to be the Black Crow killer. Plus, the two of them never really got along. Realizing that he was cornered, North Evil pointed a machete at Huo's neck and forced him to reveal who the traitor he was working with was. But Huo cleverly pretended to whisper something to North Evil before committing suicide by slitting his own throat with the machete North Evil was holding. Huo's sacrifice, though unfortunate, managed to convince Master Lei and the others that North Evil was indeed the traitor. But unexpectedly, Master Lei just left North Evil without killing him, whereas Fei-Hung expected them to kill each other. The next day, Fei-Hung wakes up in a brothel feeling devastated. He kept remembering how his best friend was killed before his eyes. Seeing him continue to be sad, Xiao Hua tries to calm him down and encourage him to stay focused on completing his big plan. Fei-Hung finally realized that she was right. However, Master Lei and the Black Tiger must be eliminated so that no more children will be left behind by their parents. But what should he do? His plan to have Master Lei and North Evil kill each other had failed, and he felt he would not be able to fight both of them at once. For this, Xiao Hua has a plan that can help Fei-Hung, but she didn't tell him what her plan was. The next day, Master Lei asks Fei-Hung to accompany him to deliver goods to his business partners, drug dealers. But when they got there, Fei-Hung found a gruesome sight. It turned out to be the place where 300 workers who were to be sent abroad were being held, and his job was to get them on board in the next few days. Meanwhile, Xiao Hua and her colleague meet North Evil, who is relaxing at the massage parlor. Once in the room, she tells him everything Fei-Hung did to the Black Tiger gang, including how he killed the Black Crow and Old Snake. North Evil had previously suspected Fei-Hung of being a traitor, and now he was even more convinced after hearing Xiao Hua's story. She deliberately revealed all the secrets to gain his trust, so she could kill him when he was off guard. But sadly, North Evil is not easily tricked. What happened was quite the opposite. She ended up being killed by him. He certainly can't just let Xiao Hua's friend walk out after seeing him kill her. And so, he approached the person and removed the hood, revealing that it was Chun. Without saying a word, she immediately swung the knife, slitting North Evil's throat, before rushing away from the scene and meeting Fei-Hung. Now, two of Fei-Hung's comrades have died in their mission. In front of the graves of Huo and Xiao Hua and the rest of his group, he emphasized that now was the time for them to make a revolution. He asked them to unite with the citizens to fight the Black Tiger. So with that being said, they began to muster up a force, invite all the citizens to join them in fighting the Black Tigers, and tell them how the gang took the 300 workers captive. Not only that, but Fei-Hung also trained the citizens who joined in Kung Fu and then released all 300 workers who were imprisoned. Meanwhile, Master Lei now knows that Fei-Hung is the traitor he is looking for. So, he held a contest, promising whoever could bring him Fei-Hung's head he would adopt him as an only child. Even though Fei-Hung was far from the territory of the Black Tiger, in the end, he was found due to the large number of people aiming for his head. But on the bright side, while running away from the crowd, he later meets Big Tooth, who decides to help him after finding out that Fei-Hung is a martial arts practitioner. Some time passed, and the Black Tiger gang still hadn't found Fei-Hung. Suddenly, they saw Fei-Hung walking towards their base with the orphan gang, the citizens, and the 300 workers he saved. The mass gathered was actually more than enough to annihilate the Black Tiger, but he didn't want any bloodshed. Instead, he challenged Master Lei to a duel, which he immediately accepted. And so, Fei-Hung entered the dueling arena, which was the Black Tiger's headquarters. But before fighting, he set fire to the place in anticipation that if he were to lose, Master Lei would not be able to leave the place. Without him and the Black Tiger, everyone could live in peace. So, in the middle of the burning arena, their duel began. Their fighting abilities were actually equal. It was the age factor that caused Master Lei to end up losing. He fell from the ceiling after receiving Fei-Hung's consecutive attacks. Fei-Hung manages to catch his hand and even tries to save him. But Master Lei's pride was too high to accept the fact that Fei-Hung saved him. With that, he let go of Fei-Hung's grip. He would rather die a painful way, devoured by the blazing fire, rather than continue to live in shame. While outside, the members of the Black Tiger gang choose to retreat after realizing there is no way their boss survived the fire. By the end of the film, Huangpu Harbor is completely safe and free from oppression. In this time of peace, Fei-Hung is seen opening a new Kung Fu school while continuing as protector of the city. The moral we can learn from this film is that self-respect is important for us to have and maintain. But sometimes, we must forget about it for a moment, especially if we need someone else's help.